guest tonight is the most dominant tennis player of all time, and for some people that would be enough, but she's also a fashion designer, a business mogul, philanthropist, manicurist, and movie producer, too. King Richard, starring Will Smith, opens in theaters November 19th. Please welcome Serena Williams. You're walking, you're okay, your hamstring's good, right?
Hamstring's better. It took a long time. It took forever, but it's much better now, so.
You heard it at, you toured at Wimbledon?
I toured at Wimbledon. I was actually, winning. And I went for a shot, and I heard this noise, and I was like, oh, no.
You can hear it when it happens, huh?
Well, that particular one, you could. I could hear it, and I was like, and I felt it, but I felt like, okay, well, let me just keep trying, and it was bad. I was like, oh, man.
Shouldn't they pave over those grass courts at Wimbledon? Isn't it time they put some cement down?
Make it hard, right? No, I love the grass. I really do. I really love it. It's just something special walking out in Wimbledon and just wearing all white and being on that green grass. It's super special, but just wasn't for me this year.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Do you think you will be ready for the Australian Open in January?
I'm definitely, yeah.
Okay. You missed the U.S. Open. Yeah. When you miss a tournament like the U.S. Open, do other players text you to say, hey, thanks?
Thanks, right? No. Not quite, but
none of that,
it was sad to miss that one. It was really sad, but I had the most awesome outfit too. So I put in extra effort to try to make it, but it didn't work out.
Can you wear that next year, or is it too late?
I was like, I gotta save this. There's no way that I have to absolutely wear it.
When you're in a tournament and you're in the locker room and there are other players there, and obviously being the greatest tennis player of all time, do you ever in situations where they come up to you and they're in awe and they want to meet you, and then you have to go out and destroy them?
What started happening is I have to take pictures in the locker room.
Yeah. And
so I'm like, okay, is this okay? Like, are you okay? You're like, yeah, she's like, can I take a picture? That's been happening a lot lately.
It has, yeah.
It's kind of sweet, though, because it's just a whole different generation of kids that are coming up and that are playing, and they, never thought they would have an opportunity to continue to play with me. Like, I'm still on tour, like, geez. So it's like, it's a cool moment at the end of the day.
I saw some pictures of you with your daughter, Olympia, who's 4 years old. You guys are playing tennis together.
Oh,
now,
she's so fun. Oh,
how seriously does she take it?
Well, she likes it enough, She likes tennis, but I don't know. Honestly, she likes playing piano.
Oh.
Yeah. And when she was in my belly, I played a lot of piano music, and even though,
So she take piano lessons?
She does, and she's teaching me.
Oh, she is?
Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm like, I have a baby Mozart. Of course, every parent thinks they have, like, Beethoven or whatever.
Yes, each night, my wife and I would lay down. We'd tell each other that our daughter was a genius, and...
exactly.
We don't have that with the boy, though. No, we're under no illusions.
Oh, no.
You, I enjoyed this movie. That was,
really...
How did you like? I mean, I guess you'd have to say you liked it one way or the other, but it must have been strange to watch your childhood in a movie theater.
It was really surreal because it's like you're watching this, and I feel like I'm at an age where maybe I shouldn't be a movie on screen right now.
Yeah.
still
You're
there's
playing.
A few more, decades where that should happen, but it's really interesting. It's so emotional. It's such a good movie. Will Smith does a fantastic job with playing my dad. It's really genius.
Do you know of any tennis stars who don't have or had a single-minded parent who really kind of carried the torch as far as playing goes?
No, and that's what the whole movie is about. We and Will wanted to make a movie that really honored my dad. The film's called King Richard, and it really tells a story about what he did, not only in tennis, but little did he know the impact that it would have just literally on the globe. And so it's a really interesting story. It's really emotional. When I first saw it, I was honestly bawling the whole time, but also because it's like memories that like, oh, I remember that, and oh my goodness, I forgot about that. And so it was just some really incredible stuff. And
can I ask you about a couple of things specifically that I was
go
thinking
for it.
about while I was watching the movie? Well, so you had this neighbor that reported your parents, who were doting parents by any definition, reported them to like Child Protective Services.
Yeah.
Do you ever run into that neighbor after you, after you...
You know what? If you watch the movie, my mom clearly scared her away.
Yeah, okay.
My mom's a tough woman. Don't mess with her.
Your dad has a meeting with a guy who wants to be your sister's agent at the time.
Yes.
And he breaks wind in the middle of the meeting, like not accidentally, it seemed. Did that happen?
My dad's gonna kill me. Why are you putting me in this situation? I plead the fifth.
You plead the fifth. Okay, I have one more question on that, though. You weren't at that meeting. Your sister wasn't at that meeting. It was a meeting of adults only. How did you know that happened?
Well, you know, you grow up and you know your parents.
You
know
hear
what
this,
I mean?
okay.
You just kind of know your parents. And my sister was a big part of the script. Her name is Isha. She's in the film too. There's a character that plays her. So she was really a massive part of the script to make sure that the story was told in the right way. She was there every day for filming, and it was really the way that it ended up being was we were just so happy about the final product and everything. It was really amazing.
There's a scene, an important scene, because most of the, as far as the beginnings of your tennis career, are about your sister, Venus.
Yes, and that's what the film is about, because I was like I wasn't supposed to be Serena Williams. I was just like a kid that was trying to be like my sister.
Yeah, you signed up for a tournament that she was in, and your dad didn't even know.
Because I got tired of waiting. I'm like, Dad, I want to play tennis. I want to play in this tournament. And he's like, you're too young. And I was really small for my age at the time. And he's like, and so I was like, listen. So I literally filled out the form, I signed up, and then I mailed it in. And so when we went to the tournament that Venus was in, I was just playing my own match. I waited till they went to go watch her match. And this is in the movie. So they went to go watch Venus play, and I was like snuck away with my little racket, and I played a match and I won. And it was like clearly I was meant to play tennis at that point.
I think you had an advantage in a way, having an older sister, because she didn't have that competition and that person to push her like that you did. And I wonder about this scene where your dad your sister becomes, she got her first big match. She's playing the #1 player in the world, and he turns to you. And this is Will Smith, by the way. Who is not really your dad, right?
I don't know anymore. I think he is. I mean, he's a little too young to be my dad, but I think he is.
He says to the little girl playing you, he says, your sister is the first, but you are going to be the best, something to that effect. You're going to be the best player of all time. Did he really say that to you?
That was a real moment, and it's a moment that is, you know how in life there's moments that happen? That's a moment I'll never forget, and it stuck with me. And I was like 8 years old at the time, and it was, no, I was like 12. But anyway, however old I was, I can't remember. That happened, and I just remember thinking like, okay, well, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna reach that goal? How am I gonna get there? But there's absolutely no Serena without Venus. And so I love how the story is about my dad and about Venus.
And how close you both were.
Not only us, but the whole family.
Always a rivalry between the siblings. It's just how we develop as human beings. And if I was in that situation where my father said, she's great, but you're going to be the best, I go right to her and tell her that he said that. Did you do that? I would say it at dinner. I'd wait till we were at dinner, and I'd be like, what are we having for dessert, Mom? Oh, by the way, Dad, why don't you mention that thing you said?
Venus was so much better than me growing up. It was kind of, my dad really just had this vision, and I guess he knew my personality and that I had to fight for everything down to entering myself into the tournament. Like I had to fight harder because I was always smaller growing up. Eventually I grew tall, but I had to fight so hard. So I think he saw that in me, and he knew that Venus had also opened so many doors. All I had to do was walk through it. So, like I said, without Venus, there wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be who I am.
Well, when we come back, we're going to see a clip from the movie. It's called King Richard's Serena Williams is here. We'll be right back.
When I was your age, I used to have to fight every day. If it wasn't the Ku Klux Klan or the police or the white boys from the next town, somebody was always beating on me for something. And I ain't had no daddy to stand in their way. This world ain't never had no respect for Richie Williams. But they gonna respect y'all. They gonna respect y'all.
That is King Richard, Will Smith playing Serena Williams' dad, Richard, and the Fresh Prince is playing King Richard. That's just got to be a very strange thing for
Growing
you.
up watching Will Smith as an actor, watching The Fresh Prince, watching everything that he did, Men in Black, it was really an amazing moment to realize that this was going to happen. So, and the job that he does portraying my dad. Like I said, I'm like, okay, wait, are you my dad or like what? Because he did such an amazing job of
What did your
really
dad
learning
think
the
of his
character.
performance?
You know, my dad, he hasn't seen it yet. He's really doesn't like looking at anything about himself.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he's in
Yeah.
all in the movie. He's doing interviews all the time. He's not. He's
No. He's a total, completely out of camera kind of guy. He's completely like he likes to be in the shadows now, and so he says he had his heyday and he's done. He's like, I'm done. You guys do what you need to do. But
really.
yeah,
Wow. No.
yeah.
So do you think he'll see it eventually?
For sure he'll
Yeah.
see it. And honestly, maybe he's already seen it, but he hasn't told me that he's seen it. So,
One part of the story that I didn't know about was about how much your mom
Yeah.
contributed not just at home, which is obvious, but on the tennis court.
Yeah.
That your mom really.
That was incredible. So in the movie, you'll see that, Venus was way better than I was. I can't stress that. I kind of sucked. So I had to work really hard to get better. But so all the coaches realized how amazing this black girl from Compton was, Venus. And they were like, we want to take her on. Not so sure about the sister, but we definitely want to take her on because it's a huge project. Tennis takes a ton of money and a lot of dedication.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't able to go, but it was so interesting that I had to start working with my mom. And yeah, it was not my favorite time. My mom is like gonna kill me, but I was like, Mom, I hate being on your court. I hate this, and I would cry. And she's like, toughen up. And she made me super tough. I'm so grateful.
Was she a good player, your mom?
Yeah, my mom was a good player. She
Those
loved
little
to play
girls
tennis
who
and-
play you and your
Oh, my
sisters are first of all adorable, but secondly, and really good. But also they seem to be, and I don't know, maybe it was movie magic, they seem to be really good tennis players.
So tennis is one sport in the movies that you can't really fake. You can always tell, like, okay, they're not a real player. These girls, once they cast, they learned how to play tennis. And they learned how to play our technique of tennis.
Wow.
So it was Sinai who played Venus, and then Demi who played me. And they were... You can't understand that they didn't play tennis before. It seemed like they played tennis their whole
They're not just
lives.
hitting the ball, they're like hitting the hell out of the ball.
They are, and they're doing a good job. And so I was thinking that they should go pro. They should keep training and go pro.
Yeah,
and
why
the story
not?
Continue. So, my dad...
And then so on.
My dad is somehow have 2 more champions, so it'd be really cool.
Yeah, your kids could play them in the next movie.
Exactly.
Did you ever play with them, with the girls? Did you ever get on the court with them?
No, not yet. That's actually a good idea. We should do it. They're just so amazing and such cool girls. I actually was just watching them on set perform and do their work and do their art, and I felt honored to even be able to do that.
Your mother your real mother looks just like the actress who played her.
It's so insane,
Because
right?
there's great footage at the end of the movie of your real home movies that your dad shot with that video. Do you have all that footage still?
Well, my dad has a lot of that footage, and so it's kind of cool to go back and see some of the footage of, these real moments that happen in the movie, right? And then the real footage that my dad actually captured growing up. So he was big into film and into capturing moments and to save. And way before Instagram came around, he was already into that.
He invented Instagram too.
He did in a way, right?
And we're at the end of the movie, I should mention also, we're sitting there, my wife and I are watching, and it's a new Beyonce song, which is a big deal.
Yeah,
Did you ask Beyonce to write that song?
When the film came out, there was no other person that could could do the song, except for Beyonce, because I feel like we've had a similar path in our lives. We trained since an early age to reach a goal.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
And her dad was really like,
Her dad was super involved in her career, as well as her mom. Her mom, my dad and my mom were super
Sisters,
involved.
yeah.
Exactly, sisters. And for us, it was really only one answer, and she embraced that. There was just no doubt in her mind that that belonged to her as well. And so the original song is amazing, and I love it. And it all came together really so perfectly.
It did. The movie's great. It's called King Richard. It is the story of the Williams family. It opens at theaters on November 19th. Thank you, Serena, for being here.
Thank you so much.
We'll be back with Jay Malvin. Congratulations on making it to the end of a YouTube video. Why not celebrate by clicking the subscribe button? You earned it.